Hello and welcome to today's episode of Thrive After 45. I'm Denise Drinkwalter, heart whisperer, midlife mirror, and mentor. Every week, I am so honored to share energy and space with inspiring guests whose stories reflect so many possibilities of thriving beyond 45. Together, we'll uncover the whispers of the heart, the power of midlife transformation, and the wisdom that fuels expansion. What if the reason your makeup stopped working isn't you, but that no one ever taught you how to work with the skin you're in now? Today, I am honored and privileged to welcome Gabriela Soares. Gabi has spent over 2 decades as a professional makeup artist and hairstylist, working hands on with thousands of women across all ages, skin types, and life stages. But what shifted everything for her was noticing something many were quietly experiencing. Women over 40 were being left out of the beauty conversation. And instead of ignoring it, she leaned in. As a beauty content creator, Gabi has built a platform grounded in real experience where her work has now reached over 119 million views, connecting with millions of women every single month. But what I feel most when I sit with her and watching her work is how deeply she really understands the woman on the other side of the mirror. Because it isn't about makeup, it's about the moment when what used to work doesn't, when your reflection feels unfamiliar, when you start to wonder, is that me? And Gabi meets women right there. She helps you understand why foundation may not be sitting the same, why texture suddenly feels more visible, why eyeliner feels different, and most importantly, how to work with your skin instead of against it. Not through trends, but through technique, through awareness, through a return to what actually supports you now. This conversation is for the woman who has stood in front of the mirror and felt that quiet disconnection and is ready to meet herself there with something new. Gabi, what an honor and a privilege it is to have this conversation with you today. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. What a nice introduction. Thank you for
You
inviting.
know, oh my gosh, I have to tell our audience it's a mutual friend who brought us together because I have seen your videos and I don't even know how it came to be. And Jeff said to me, "I know her." I was like, "Pardon? Pardon? What do you mean you know her?" So we got to connect and we just realized, actually, I totally forgot. It was about a year ago when we first connected.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's so great to have you here today. And your videos are incredible. I just can't seem to get enough of them because you're genuine. You are the person behind the camera is you. And I love that. You give ideas and techniques. And I don't know if anybody has gleaned as much information from them all as I have, but I'm so grateful for your content. It's so well done. So thank you for everything you put in behind the scenes because I can only imagine what
Thank
it's
you
like.
so much for saying that. And thanks to you too, like having a platform for women to be able to feel authentically themselves and to connect and understand like what you have created is pretty remarkable too. So thank you for being a part of it as much as me.
And isn't it great how we know that there's that quiet, something's disconnected with me, and we feel it, but we push it aside, don't we? Just kind of like, oh, I just need
Oh
to
yeah.
do, yeah, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Or we fill it up with something else to make it go for a minute.
Isn't that true?
Yeah.
And thinking the more we fill it up from the outside, that it's just going to keep us busy enough so we don't have to actually uncover what's really going on, right?
Hmm. Absolutely.
When did things start changing for you in terms of, you know what, there's a piece missing here. Can you tell us a little bit of your how you got to where you are doing the incredible work you're doing now?
Sure. It's a funny story. So I've been a makeup artist for 20 years, over 20 years, and I've worked in film and fashion and television. I've traveled the world. I've done major campaigns, worked with celebrities. But I also one business that I did run simultaneously along with that business. I also was a hairstylist. So I had multiple things, but all in the beauty industry. So it seems like a lot, but it was all the same space, but different avenues of the same space. And I would hop from the salon to on set to my bridal business, had a bridal business.
Of
And
course you did,
I did, yep, because hair and makeup's my thing, you know?
right?
So I would find that my team that I hired, they would get very nervous and worried to do like grandma of the bride, the little granny who's 88 and she's so excited to get her hair and makeup done and they'd be like, "Gab, can you do grandma?" Like because they feel intimidated by it, not because they are not great artists or even because they don't love that age demographic, just because they didn't know how the skin changes and why it wasn't reacting in the same way to the makeup application. So,
Mm.
of course, as the team lead and the business owner, I would take grandma, I would take mothers, I would take great aunts. They would become
Hmm.
my clients because it intimidated the rest of my
Hmm.
team. And from there, I learned a lot of techniques and a really deep understanding of not only their skin or their preferences, but even just their stories and how I had a mother of the bride once tell me, this beautiful woman, by the way, like she could have been a supermodel. She's like,
Mm.
"You turn 50 and you're invisible. There's not one man that will turn and look at you anymore." She's like, "When I walked in a room, every man would turn and look at me. I turned 50 and not a single man looks at me." And I'm like, "A man are going to look at you tonight." So,
Love it.
yeah, I just really started to understand them. So, long story short, I felt that kind of disconnect with working face to face, impacting one person at a time. I really
Mhm.
felt like my calling was to impact millions of
Mm.
people at the same time. So I started creating these videos for my clients mainly because they would message me later and say, "I've never felt more beautiful in my whole life. Like, how did you get my foundation to look like that?" And I would type it like, "You have to prep the skin like this, you have to do this." But makeup is an art. You need to know how much to use, where to use it, how to spread it, what tools to use with it. And I could never fully articulate how to do it with words. I had to show. And so I
Mm.
started making videos so that when a woman would ask me that, I'd say, "I've had 3 questions about that this week. Watch this video."
Yeah.
And then over time, the video started going viral. And I think it's because I was really one of the only women speaking to that community.
Yeah.
So I didn't have much competition because all the makeup artists on YouTube were speaking to really young women.
Right.
And I kind of became known for that, even though at the time when I started making the videos, I was only 32.
Hmm.
So I'm 40 now. I'm still quite young,
Yep.
but I've really specialized in that woman over 45, 50, 60,
Yep.
70. And that's my
Right.
entire audience. And I just I love them so much.
Well, and I can attest to the connection piece. What I'm hearing in your story is that you were going to help solve a problem because you know when women are feeling their best, they are their best, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think, the evolution of womanhood is every stage is very different.
Yeah.
Like when you hit your late 30s into early 40s, that's when you really start to see the shifts of midlife and you
Yeah.
resist it. So the
Mm.
way I speak to that woman's different than the way I speak to a 70-year-old who has they've evolved. They're in their butterfly
Mm.
era. They've accepted. They're
Yep.
not cocooning. Whereas in 40s, you're kind
Hmm.
of cocooning. You're like resisting. Like, what is this? I need more Botox. I need filler. I need this.
Yeah.
Why isn't this? But 70s different. And
Yeah.
the best part, I think, of the connection that I have with my audience is that when I make my videos for my 60-year-olds, when I make my videos for my 45-year-olds, I speak to them differently because they're at a different stage of their female evolution.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really important to acknowledge.
Thank you for that because there is a thread that goes through because we all go through phases and stages in our skin is a reflection of all of the things that are going inside of our body too, are they not?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. So as we age, as we hit perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause, I notice my face and I'm like, I'm not about anti-aging. I've never been about that. I want to create, I love makeup. I've always loved makeup. That's always been a little bit of my thing. I don't like a lot. I like to be au naturel as much as possible. But I know for me, I'm trying to still find what I really like when I put it on, right? Do you find that a lot of your people that you speak to, it could be one piece or another piece, they just have to play with it, or how does that work?
Yeah, so I think there's this misconception
Mm-hmm.
that makeup, it's like hiding, but it's actually the opposite for
Mm.
me. It's decorating. It's bringing the inside outwards.
Oh.
So I don't think it's about finding like the perfect product or anything. What you really have to do, and when I would teach classes individually, I would always get the woman to look at in the mirror barefaced. And I'd say, tell me the thing that you love about yourself, and you have to answer it. You can't say nothing. You have to say one thing,
Yay, thank you.
right? Like,
Yes.
I really like my mouth. I think I have a big smile and
Yeah.
I think I show a lot of warmth in my mouth. And
Yeah.
so I often decorate that and bring it forward. Even with a nude color, I'll do a more saturated nude instead of like a pale
Mm.
nude. I'll never wipe it out. And then you get them to look in the mirror again. And I say, what is something that makes you feel uncomfortable with
Mm-hmm.
yourself? For me, I actually have a lot of fine lines around my eyes and a lot of
Mm-hmm.
hollowness and darkness.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've learned techniques to pop the hollowness out without accentuating fine lines. And so I think for women, trying to especially as they evolve and makeup changes, it's understanding what they love and how to push it forward and understanding what makes them uncomfortable and how to push it back. And makeup's just a play of pushing forward, pushing back,
Yeah.
de-emphasizing things that aren't as flattering to your eye and
Mm-hmm.
emphasizing the things that are so that all people notice are the things that you love and they don't notice at all the thing you've pushed back. And that's
Right.
all that makeup is. It's really simple, actually.
The way you explain it, it's perfect because I always think about the product. What product is going to look good?
I know.
And is that because and just I have no idea, but what's coming through for me is the way that products are sold, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's marketing. And I think
Mm-hmm.
it's something that I struggle with a lot
Mm-hmm.
because I just made a video that last week that I just am working on the edit now. And it's because women, especially over 50, they often have a dislike of foundation because it can emphasize fine lines.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're on this hunt for the perfect foundation. And they've bought like 30 bottles, right? Yeah.
I haven't bought 30, but I'm playing with what's the foundation because I've always used foundation,
Yes.
right?
But the fallacy, and I think that it's often in marketing, is
Mm-hmm.
that it's not the foundation, it's the application. It's
Ah,
the technique of applying and how to manipulate different formulas to look skin-like. So you can make a full coverage foundation like Estee Lauder Double Wear, for example, look like a skin tint if you apply it in a certain way. And you can build up a skin tint to look like a full coverage foundation if you apply it in a different way. So instead of this endless hunt for the perfect item, it's the
yeah.
look for the endless hunt for the perfect technique.
Ah. And you teach technique in your videos.
Yeah, they're all technique
Yeah.
based.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is there a spot where you would say, okay, if you're you're Denise. you're trying to find that foundation and you're not getting a new one until that one's done because you've already spent the money on that one, sister. Um, and you went for the ones that are, the age specific. I'm talking about me now, everyone. This is what I do. And so I've got, this one that I'm finishing. I like it for certain pieces, but I have never done it through the eyes of what you just shared. Look at what you love about your face and start pulling those pieces out and
Yeah.
reseeding the other components. Are there certain like are there when you think of it, like do you think eyes, nose, mouth, or how do you look at a face? Do you look at the individual pieces or how do you do that?
Yeah, like I can look at a face and tell you within 2 seconds what is something that people see that's like, wow, that's beautiful. And everyone has it. And yeah, it's often eyes.
Hmm.
Um, Sometimes it's lips, like lip shape,
Yeah.
smile, like what brings a lot of warmth. Sometimes it's skin. I'll look at a woman and they have the most beautiful, deep chocolate skin, looks like satin, or like
Mm,
porcelain, or redheads with freckles. It's like
mm,
that texture tells a story, and that is what's beautiful about them. So we can bring that forward with really sheer skin tints that will let it shine through, and
mm.
using like red-based blushes so that they look like that really youthful flush that children get when they're running. Redheads look
Yes.
amazing with that because their little skin texture shines through and melts in with the red-based blush. So yeah, it's and noses, like if you have a really beautiful little nose, you can emphasize that with by adding a little touch of highlighter here and on the tip. So
Mm,
I would say that you're right. Yes, it's like the features, the individual features, skin, mouth, nose, eyes, brows,
hmm. So
cheekbones.
with saying that, I would look in the mirror and I wouldn't be able to decipher what because I look at myself only one way, the way that I always see myself. So does it help to have somebody else? You're like, how do you ever do individual consults? I know you talked about how incredible everything's going with the millions, which I love. Wonder if do you do consults to help or how
No,
does that work? No. Okay.
I don't have
I,
time for that
yeah.
anymore. I
I
wish
was
I
gonna,
did, but that would be very crazy,
yeah.
actually.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I'm thinking. It's like, that's a lot. So, do you, the one thing that I used to see all the time was what shape is your face, right? You draw it on the mirror. Does that have an impact, or do you tend to look at individual pieces, or is it all together?
I think face shape can have an impact. I think face shape has a big impact on haircuts. As a
Okay.
hairstylist, I can say that with certainty.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you have a very long, narrow face, you're gonna want to add width to the face
Hmm.
to make it more youthful looking and plumper. If you have a very round face, you're gonna want to add length to elongate and balance. If you have very sharp features, so that's more of like a haircut thing, I would say. With
Right.
makeup,
Okay.
it also matters for contouring, but I think it matters less than people think it does.
Mm,
Yeah. It still does matter, but that's getting like really
okay.
advanced.
Okay.
And I think the normal woman who applies
Yeah.
makeup casually, I
Yeah.
think that would be overwhelming.
Yeah. Fair. Totally fair. What would
Mhm.
you say would be the biggest mistake that women actually make with their makeup as we age, as we get older?
Yeah. Um, I think the I think the biggest mistake, like I mentioned earlier, was
Hmm.
endlessly hunting for the perfect
Yeah.
product, but not understanding the application.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really a big one. Another one is applying products the way that you did. I think we kind of, even for myself, I feel like I like froze mentally at the age of not like in terms of maturity, but like how I see myself, I'm like 30.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't look 30 anymore, but
Yeah.
I have a hard time adapting my techniques because I'll always go back to how I did it when I was 30.
Yeah.
And then I'll notice that it doesn't look good in pictures.
Yeah.
It's even a battle with myself, and this is what I
Yeah.
do for a living.
So, what you just shared there is so valuable for myself and our audience because we all struggle. Even the experts struggle with, I'm doing it the same way, I've done it this way, it's worked, and things are
Yeah.
changing, and I need to not just be okay with it, but do what you're sharing in terms of pulling out what is it that you love about your face. So I love the segue where we can start to take that information and go, wait a minute, I'm going to do this whole new way because I'm a whole new me. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm still the same person, but I'm changing and I'm loving the changes. So I'm going to adapt and become curious how I can do things differently and accentuate and grow into my continued beauty, right?
Yeah, and you asked if I do consults because you're like I wouldn't know, like I and that's completely
Yeah.
understandable. Like
Yeah.
that's a very relatable thing. So
Hmm.
what I would encourage you to do is go to someone that loves you the most, whether that's your son or daughter or your husband or your sister, and say like, when you see me without makeup, what do you notice is the most beautiful thing about me? Just
Mm.
straight up ask them. And I bet you they'll know they'll be your eyes. Like they say it like it's they're like, what do you mean? How do you not know? It's your obviously your gorgeous eyes. You know.
Yeah.
Sometimes you
Yeah.
need an outside eye to
Yes. Yeah.
see.
I
Yeah.
I totally hear what you're saying. I totally because I'm that person. I'm the person who's like, I don't know, because I question myself. Well, I like this, but is that really, the right answer? Oh, come on, Denise. There is no right answer, really, you know.
No, there's
Yeah.
actually no right answer. And
Yeah.
that's another thing that I that's another common, I don't want to even say mistake because there's no mistake in makeup. It's
Yes.
art, right? It's
Mm,
literally like, is there a wrong way to paint a canvas? There isn't. But I often see women, yeah, especially I find women that are older in
mm-hmm.
their life journey, they're
Mm-hmm.
constantly looking for right and wrong. And I'm like, I don't find that young, like the 20s would ever say that. Like, is this the right way to apply eyeliner?
Right.
But I get that question a lot in my mature
Yeah.
audience demographic, but that's not the right way. You're supposed to, and it's like, there's no right and wrong way to
Mm,
paint anything. There's
mm,
just the way that ends up being the most flattering for you.
right. Right.
And you have to trust your own eye because you can't really get it right or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You
And
just have to trust your eye.
what you're saying is freedom. What I'm hearing is freedom. Freedom to be you, freedom to explore,
Yeah.
freedom to build curiosity and play with it and have fun because why not?
And I think that's why the younger women don't have this instinct to ask if it's wrong because they're more, I think that life hasn't worked them down so much that they
Yeah.
trust their intuition. Like they don't care. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? If it's right or wrong, they're just gonna do them. But as we
Hmm.
get older, it's like we've gone through so many things that we start overthinking it, I think.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
We're less
Spending time.
carefree.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I'd say there's another shift as we get through that. Uh, there is more freedom and ability. However, we've been doing our face this way for so long, it might be hard to break those. Well, how else can I do it? Watch Gabby's show. She will play with you. Yeah.
And that's a great, I love that you said play because you can watch my show and try it and be like, this looks terrible. And trust your gut because
Mm,
there's a million ways to paint anything. And you
mm,
might get some new ideas and then adapt it to what your face features are. And you just have to enjoy it because
yeah.
that's what it is, you know?
Yeah.
And the good
Yeah.
thing about makeup is you can wash it off. It's not a
Yeah.
haircut, you know? Do it in the evening
Yes.
before going to bed, learn a few
Yeah.
new things, take it with you, wash it off, try again the
Yeah.
next day.
Yeah. Have fun. Have fun with it. And do it for you, by you, because of you,
100%.
right? Hmm.
Yes. And it's pretty empowering when you change something
Yeah.
and you leave the house feeling amazing and you have that person that's like, "Wow, you look great.
Yeah.
What have you been doing?"
Yeah.
And the answer is never like, "I bought a new concealer."
Yeah. Thank you. That is a perfect, perfect response. It's not about the concealer, it's about how I feel about myself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Puts a pep in your step when you feel really, really confident.
Hmm. I love that. Is there anything you would love to share with our audience as we prepare to close our incredible conversation today? Anything that you want to make sure the women in the audience hear?
Yeah, I think don't undermine your power and your
Mm,
self-worth and really take the time to not only accept yourself but really really love
mm,
yourself. It's an amazing thing when you can look in the mirror and you can push back the things that maybe make you feel self-conscious and really play up and amplify the things that make you feel gorgeous because no one is looking at the things that you hate. No one. Have you ever met a
no.
beautiful woman, like a not even physically beautiful, like internally
Yeah.
beautiful woman,
Yeah.
thought, man, she'd be a lot prettier if she had less fine lines around her mouth? No one sees
No.
that. No one
No.
sees that but you.
Yeah. What a great point to end with
Mhm.
because you're so right. We are so critical of ourselves.
Yes.
And when we do for you, by you, because of you, that dissipates out and things change around you in your sphere of influence. We talk about this all the time on the show, how empowering you are when you step into your full you-ness, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
Self-love is so contagious
Hmm.
and reflects so much outwardly. Someone who
Yeah.
loves themselves is so beautiful
Yeah.
without a dot of makeup on their
Yeah.
face.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
Yeah.
it's not only what people see, it's what people feel, right?
That's the thing because it's so
Mm-hmm.
connected,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
There's even a psychological I have a psychology degree and I don't remember the exact terminology of it now, but um, people are more likely to like someone who they feel likes them.
Mm.
So if you feel like a warmth and like a kindness that someone is giving you, you're more likely to like them. And
Yeah.
that's the very much the same with beauty. When you feel accepted and like yourself around someone, you're more likely to feel like they're beautiful. Beauty is very holistic. It's a sum of all the parts. And I think in my industry especially, and the goggles that women in the beauty industry and even women that enjoy beauty content, they focus on the individual parts and not the sum of
Mm.
all the parts. They'll focus on the imperfection and then the product that fixes the imperfection. But beauty isn't one individual thing. It's the entire aura of a woman.
Mm-hmm.
It's the way they show up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's very different. It's a very different way of looking at beauty. And I think that it's more people need to look at it that way.
I love what you're saying because it's the aura, but all of that stems from how you feel about yourself,
Hmm.
right? And beauty is deep and wide. And when we take it from the stance of it's not the external, it's the whole package,
Hmm.
everything gets to change. So the exterior is just an amplification of the energy that's already running through our bodies because we love whom we are as an individual first. And as we know, women are all about making sure everybody else is okay, and we carry all the weight of all of those pieces. And this is why we have our show, because we are helping you do this for you, by you, because of you. It is not egocentric to put yourself first. It
Right.
is important because when your cup is totally full and overflowing, everybody feels that, right? And we're
Mm.
not saying there's a moment here and a moment there where I just a minute, I need a moment. I need to breathe. We're human. It's going to hit. But
Yeah.
what are you doing to give back to yourself in ways that nobody else can do? Right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I knew this was going to be such a great conversation.
This is a great conversation.
I'm so glad you have had time in your schedule to connect, share your wisdom, your experience, your beauty, because
Oh.
it's clearly from the inside. I'm going to get teary. You are a gift, and we are so grateful. You are doing so many incredible content videos. We can find you on, I can't even say it right. What's your show?
Yeah,
Glam
you can find me on YouTube at Glam Girl Gabby
Glam
or
Girl. I knew there was a word in there. Yeah.
GGG.
There you go. Yes, yes, perfect. And you are also on social media channels, and we'll tag everybody so that you can go and see Gabby in action, listen to her. You won't find a more authentic artist anywhere. I've never seen anybody more authentic than you. So it's
Thank
a
you so
pleasure to spend this time.
You too. Thank you so much again. And thank you to your audience for watching and for accepting me here today. I'm really, really grateful to be here.
And before we close, I do want to share something very gently and very clearly. In November, this coming November, I am hosting a live in person experience called Ignite the Inner Uprising. It will be a 2 day immersive gathering for up to 1,200 women in midlife. Women who feel that quiet pull towards something more truthful, more embodied, more fully their own. It's an extension of these conversations. It's where reflections become embodiment and insight becomes integrated, where women who have held so much for others are going to gather and stand fully in their own sovereignty. So if something stirred inside of you, if your body's leaned in, that is not accidental. The wait list is open. So if Ignite feels like something in your future, and your future self will thank you, I invite you to add your name to the wait list. And the link is in the show notes. As always, follow, share, like, leave a review so more women can find these incredible conversations. Thank you again, Gabby, for being here with us today and taking time out of your such a busy woman, a busy schedule for your wisdom and gifts and talents.
No problem, anytime.